Let's get weird with it, shall we? So, you probably figured out what this build is already about due to the thumbnail and the title of the video, but let me just spell it out for you. This video is about AD Hybrid Pen Akali. I said that all wrong, don't worry about it. And you probably have your doubts about such a strange concept like this, but maybe this will change your mind.
You ready for this?
Let's go.
See, 언제든지 내 모습 magic 단한 번에 내가 잠을 절대 기죽지 않지. 평평 네가 뭘 알아? 근데 수없어 원해도 원하는 게 얼굴에 보여. I'm trouble and you running it. I'm so cold. When I move that way, you gon' be so blown. I'm the realest in the game. Set on my fire with the blade. You're about to hear my name. Ring it in your head like whoa. So keep your eyes on me now. 무엇을 보던 좋아할 거야. We so tough. Scared to show you up. Can you feel the rush now? Ain't nobody bringing us down, 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 down. They could try, but we gonna win the ground. You could go another round, 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 round. Wish you luck, but you're not bringing us down. We go hard, so we get it, we go hard. So in it, we pop stars. Only winning now. Ain't nobody bringing us down, 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 down.
Welcome to Weird Build Wednesday, the show where I take a build or an idea and try my hardest to make it work, and then write it from viably legit, fun for casuals, or don't touch it at all. In today's episode, we're going to be kicking off this series with one of my favorite champions of League of Legends, in fact, my favorite personal champion, Akali. Let's go on a magical journey on the process to get to this point. So we're going to have to go backwards before we can go forwards. You know how the old saying goes, 2 steps back, nail my crack. What? That's not the saying? What is the saying? That's boring, we're gonna stick with that. Balance problems and nerfs. So, Akali has had a bumpy road to say the least. When she was reworked, she was pretty strong. Very strong. To the point where she's been consistently nerfed almost every single patch. Which has led us to this point, where her AD scalings are actually higher than her I don't know why I said it like that. Her AD scalings are actually higher than her AP scalings. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know why they'll do that. Her AD scalings are better than her AP scalings by about 10 to 15%, which is pretty significant. The only thing that's higher AP-wise is the second part of her ult, which is kind of her signature thing for pro play because you can just focus down a target, then Akali can execute that target. But in solo duo queue, that doesn't really happen at all, so she's just really bad for solo queue at this point. I tried almost every rune on this character. I tried Kleptomancy, I tried Electrocute, I tried Conquer, I tried Fleet Footwork, Phase Rush, Summon Airy, Comet, Unsealed Spellbook. I tried almost every rune on this character. I got to the point where I finally came to this combination of runes and this item choice. So for comparison, here is the standard Akali build in all of its AP and standard glory. You have some nice synergy between the items, but nothing special. The only through line is ability power. Now let me introduce you to my patent-pending beautiful build of Hybrid Dual Penetration. The final build is Yomu's Ghostblade, Duskblade of Drakthar, Hextech Gunblade, Void Staff, Rabadon's Deathcap, and Sorcerer's Shoes. Now, I understand it looks weird, but just bear with me here. Let's go over why this actually works. Ghostblade and Duskblade. Now, these two items you generally see on characters like Talon or Zed. But we're throwing those characters out the window because we're talking about Akali. Who cares about those characters? Anyway, those two items give you a lot of early game damage and synergy between the two items, especially on Akali, and it allows you to do early game damage and then ramp up to late game with some AP items later on in the build. Now, doing split damage on characters is not a good idea, generally. because you're not going to have enough damage for the penetration for both Armor Pen and Magic Pen for it to really work. But here's why it works on Akali. Her Q, which is her main ability, scales with both AD and AP, but it converts all of that damage to magic damage. So even though you have a higher AD value on that ability, it'll still do magic damage. Therefore, Void Staff and Sorcerer's Shoes work with it. The only thing that it doesn't boost up is your E damage and the first hit of your ultimate damage. If you understood all that, congratulations, here's your theoretical degree in video game build crafting. You can now attempt to go create builds in Dark Souls 3, may God have mercy on your soul. I want to play the build. Go hard with Ghostblade. Seriously, once you build Ghostblade, run your lane opponent down. I know it sounds like I'm giving you some Tyler 1 advice, but just trust me on this. Ghostblade is such a huge power spike that you can start your snowball super early with this item. Seriously, it just, the movement speed boost, the amped damage, the AD, the lethality, it's so good on Akali. I don't know why people haven't been building it on her. It just blows my mind. Here's an interesting question for you. What do prison shankers, prostitutes in dark alleyways, and Duskblade of Drakthar all have in common? Well, of course the answer to that question, very simply, is you do more damage when you're coming out of stealth. You could get fancy with it and sit in your shroud for exactly 1 second to reproc your Duskblade, but much like most prostitutes, it's not usually worth it. Duskblade procs happen, just kind of happen, and they're nice bonus damage, but it's not something that you really are going to be specifically working towards when you're doing your full combo on people. Results! You have a super big early game spike with this build. As you hit that 2 and 3 item point, you will be one-shotting people. It feels like old Akali again. It warms my heart. This, of course, translates to a strong mid-game, where again, you'll still have enough damage to be 1 or 2-shotting people. You can get away with some pretty cheeky stuff with this build. It's pretty funny. However, much like all assassins, Akali falls off late game. She just falls off a cliff. It just happens. At the end of all this, what are my thoughts on AD hybrid double penetration Akali? I love it. Even though Akali is bad right now, in terms of a snowball build, this is the best one I have found. Dark Harvest legitimately does an insane amount of damage. Your Duskblade and Ghostblade lethality procs are crazy. Gunblade is just the Akali item. It's just a good build, you gotta trust me on this one. So my rating for AD double hybrid penetration Akali, whatever I'm calling this build, is viably legit. Honest to God, this is going to be the Akali build that I'm going to be using for a while, at least until they fix Akali and actually make her a viable character again. This build is just fun, it's super good, it's honestly the best Akali build I've tried, including the standard one. Give it a try for yourself, see how you like it. It's a little bit of a different playstyle, but it's not that much to get used to. Do you have a build that you want me to try? Well, leave it in a comment down below. I do read them. I really do read them. But if you have an idea you want me to try out, such as full AP Tahm Kench, or maybe Mana Lucian, well, hit me up. Maybe I'll do it. But anyway, that'll do it for this video. My name has been Flying Walrus Man. Take care.